Microsoft 365 is your most critical cloud environment. If it goes down or gets compromised, it can be game over. This is why Microsoft 365 Tenant Resilience is a must-have. It's vital that your M365 tenants can prevent, withstand, and recover from constant attacks. So what is Microsoft 365 Tenant Resilience? There are 5 components. First, harden your tenants against attacks. Second, segment your tenants and remove privileges. Third, detect configuration tampering attacks. Fourth, restore tenant configurations after an incident. And fifth, build operational resilience into your tenants. Let's start with number 1. Harden your tenants against attacks. You wouldn't deploy a server into the cloud without hardening it. Why is Microsoft 365 any different? A Microsoft 365 tenant is multitudes more critical and sensitive compared to a server. This isn't Canva or Monday.com. We're talking about Entra, Intune, Defender, SharePoint, Exchange, and more. A single weak configuration in these services can create a foothold that attackers can use to reach your most sensitive assets. This is why the CoreView platform comes with a CIS configuration baseline. This acts as a gold image to show you where your tenant configurations are leaving you exposed to attacks. CoreView also detects and remediates collaboration pathways that attackers exploit, guest users in sensitive environments, admins with mailboxes, external sharing, and powerful Entra apps that can be accessed from outside your tenant. Finally, CoreView continually scans your tenant for users with weak passwords, no MFA, and no conditional access policies, and remediates, so you know your tenant is resilient against attacks. Next, segment your tenants and remove privileges. If an attacker can compromise just one Microsoft 365 privileged account, it can lead to total tenant takeover. Microsoft 365 privileged accounts come with a huge blast radius, completely undermining the principle of least privilege and making day-to-day administration extremely dangerous. The solution? Don't just manage these privileges, remove them. CoreView enables you to apply virtual tenant segmentation, creating tightly defined administrative boundaries to massively reduce the blast radius normally associated with Microsoft 365 administration. Admins only get access to the devices, users, mailbox, and other resources they need to have access to, and everything else is off limits. The beauty of this approach is that all administration is done through CoreView, meaning you can deprovision the privileged accounts that attackers are targeting, massively reducing your attack surface. Next, detect configuration tampering attacks. Attackers know you can't detect configuration tampering in Microsoft 365. That's why it's their favorite attack. When attackers get into your tenant, one of their first goals is to change critical configurations. The objective? To change your tenant's security posture to suit their needs rather than yours. They will open doors that you have intended to be shut and create re-entry points just in case they lose access to your tenant during the attack. This is where CoreView comes in. CoreView constantly monitors for changes across your tenants, reviewing over 8,000 configuration details across your tenants. As soon as something is changed, your team is alerted so you can take action. Next, restore your tenant configurations after an incident. Microsoft won't restore your tenant configurations after an incident. That's up to you, and it's mission critical. Think of your Microsoft 365 tenant like a glass of water. The water is your data, and the glass is the tenant that holds that data and keeps it secure. And the integrity of that glass is made up of all of your tenant configurations. Both the water and the glass are targeted during cyber attacks. After an incident, you need to be able to quickly see which configurations have been changed or deleted, and then rapidly restore back to a secure state. But almost no one has visibility of these changes, let alone a backup of their tenant configurations. even if an attacker has only changed one configuration. Until you've done a full audit, you will have no idea of what has and hasn't changed, meaning you have no idea whether the glass is suitable to pour the water into. The solution? After an incident, CoreView shows you every change made to your configurations, who did it and when, and crucially, lets you rewind your tenant configurations back to their ideal state. Finally, build operational resilience into your tenants. Microsoft 365 is astonishingly complex. 60 apps and services with over 18 admin interfaces and over 10,000 configuration details, and all of it constantly moving around due to updates. Attacks, audits, mergers and acquisitions, or just unpredictable surges in help desk tickets can demand so much manual administration, PowerShell scripting, and troubleshooting that IT teams quickly get pushed to their limits. It's in these moments of pressure that gaps emerge. Services get misconfigured, users don't get properly offboarded, and access reviews get rushed or dropped entirely. Organizations need to be resilient to these moments of operational pressure. That's why CoreView gives your IT teams superpowers to handle high service demand with ease. IT teams have a unified admin center with powerful reporting that streamlines tenant management and gives instant visibility without the need for PowerShell. Task automation enables rapid user onboarding and offboarding. User troubleshooting is easy with CoreView's User Rewind, showing exactly what changes are affecting users and enabling instant rewind to their prior state. And none of this is to mention Corey, the world's first AI administrator for Microsoft 365, an AI wingman that you can offload administration to while you focus on the important stuff. CoreView closes critical Microsoft 365 tenant resilience gaps that other tools leave exposed, to give you full confidence that your most critical environment is resilient to cyber attacks. To find out more, go to DoodleVideoProduction.com. CoreView. Build resilience and master complexity for Microsoft 365.